How's it going, card fighters? I'm Gleaming Garmore, and today is Banlist Day. Now, a funny story about this ban list. They said they were going to release it on February 23rd, right? Well, they put it up at midnight EST. They put it up for me at the first opportunity for it to be February 23rd. Anyway, the ban list is kind of good, but it's also kind of bad. So let's talk about that. First of all, we've got a V Premium ban list, which I barely play this format, so I won't go too in depth with this. They banned Percival, which I'm upset about, but I know needed to happen. They also hit Kokushigaras, which I thought was kind of weird, because like, when's the last time anybody played this bird? It's, I'm sorry, but if your Nubatama strat still relies on Koku, then it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. They also brought back some cards. They brought back Karen and Mermaid Idol Ellie, which I'd be upset about them bringing Ellie back. But they also hit Silver Singer Cutire in the wrong format. I haven't heard anybody complain about like Highlander in V. It's all been like highly dedicated archetypal decks for Bermuda in V. Meanwhile, we just have to sit through hours and hours and hours of Highlander gameplay in Premium, and it's just kind of annoying. I wish that this wasn't the case, but you can't win them all, I guess. Meanwhile, onto the Premium ban list. There's only one less card hit on the Premium ban list than in these other lists. There's only one less update to the list. Now, let's talk about one that might confuse a couple of people. Fabricated Dragon of Ruination has been restricted to 1. And you might be asking yourself, didn't they restrict Ruination in the last ban list? Well,
there's a simple explanation for that.
Ruination was restricted to 1 in exactly Mega Colony, which meant that every other Stoicheia clan in the game could still play 4 Ruination Dragons if they so chose. But now, if you look on the little card for the ban list, it says Stoicheia restricted to 1, which means that Ruination is restricted to 1 in all clans that could play it, and not just Mega Colony. Why did this change happen? I'm unsure. I don't think anybody was playing any other like order type decks. I saw that people pivoted off of Ruination and onto Flagberg for some reason. There was like a Flagberg Mega Colony list going around for a while, which I don't know. I think it just goes to show you the level of cope that Mega Colony players have been on since the last ban list. I'm so sorry for you all. Why don't you play Giraffa? Giraffa's pretty cool, right? They got a reverse unit. They also hit Dragon Knight Nizari, which is in line with the Japanese ban list. I think they did this a couple of lists ago in Japan, actually. I understand them hitting Nizari because even though like Eugene Handloop was a silly, funny, goofy deck that nobody was actually playing, except for our boy Fuzzy Paradox, he was playing that deck. I think that's funny. But even though nobody was really playing that deck, they are printing legitimate, actual, real Eugene support cards, including one that makes any Eugene Vanguard restand, which means that you can restand any stride if you are Eugene. So, like, fair enough. Fair enough. Get rid of Nizari before they have a hand loop, and they have that one premium collection stride that restands and also gains crits. Like, just don't let them do that. That's fine. They also hit Mystery Flare Dragon, Interdimensional Dragon, Mystery Flare Dragon, to 0. It is gone. And why is it so important that Mystery Flare is gone? Because it created one of the most uninteractive decks to ever exist in the history of Vanguard. It literally just goes...
Alright, good luck, have fun. Alright, good luck, have fun.
So as cool conceptually as it is to have like this big combo deck that takes finds a way to take 3 turns in a row, I'm glad to see Mystery Flare out of the format. And the last hit, arguably the most important one, is Flash Ripple Odysseus. Now, Odysseus has been here before. He's been on the list, he's been off the list. He's been at 1, he's been at 2, he's been at all kinds of numbers. So it's really not surprising to see that if they print new Ripple cards and they bring Odysseus back, he will eventually find his way back onto the ban list. Because this deck has somehow consistently been a problem, whether it be Grade 1 Rush, whether it be the current iteration. There's always something wrong with Ripples. And I think it is very funny that there is always something wrong with Ripples. And Bushiroad keeps being willing to put Odysseus on probation. And he always does something again to go back to jail. Every time. But yeah, I do think this is a genuinely good hit because we have a loop. We have a loop that is remotely playable. You might want to check out Commander Jaime's video. I'll send a link in the description to Commander Jaime's video on how to do a Ripple Infinite combo that results in infinite Excel markers and infinite power on your Pursuit Assault. Now, I actually did want to talk about the Ripple Infinite combo, and this is a fun way to segue into that. But once upon a time, one petty individual, that's me, I did that. One petty individual counted the number of Excel markers, literally counted the number of Excel markers that were available on tcgplayer.com and found out there were around 5,000 or so, which is not enough to get a Pursuit Assault to a point where it is strong enough to hit over an Overtrigger. Which means that this combo exists. This combo exists, and you can go pretty far with it, but you can't go infinite. Which means, cry about it, loser, unfortunately. I'm so sad that it means cry about it. You might not know this, but you are required to have physical copies of your marker cards whenever they would be generated if you want to use them in a game. Which means that the most power a Pursuit Assault could gain, if you used every Excel marker that was on TCG Player, which by my count was about 5,600, is 5,600 times 5,000 plus 9,000. That's 28,009,000 power. And you might not realize this, but 28 million is quite a bit less than 100 million. In fact, it's about 72 million less. Isn't that so sad? The amount of markers you would need, by the way, to have a Pursuit hit over an Overtrigger is 20 million. 20 million Excel 1 markers. Sorry that you had to find out this way, but you did. You sure did. Anyway, I'm glad Odysseus can rot because I don't want to have to deal with this. Some of you might be aware that I am a judge, and I did not want to deal with this the next time I went to judge an event. Like, what do we do if people try to rock up with this combo? Well, we give them a warning for not having as many markers as they need, and then if they keep doing it, we have to start giving them game losses. We have to, and in my mind, the only reason someone would do such a thing as this is to cause an issue. Literally just to cause problems and be annoying, you know? Like, there's no reason for you to do this otherwise. So I really am glad that Odysseus is gone, because this can't happen anymore. We can't let this happen, and I'm tired of it happening. It has to end. And with what I've said so far, you might think, yes, this is a banger ban list that has fixed all of the problems. But tragically, there were a couple of things missed. Now, I don't know if this would really fix V Premium, but friends I have that actually do play V have complained about this, so I will give it the time of day. Apparently, Steam Maidens are a real deck that exists. Steam Maidens are a deck that exists, and people are not too happy about it. Because, get the pie chart. Get the pie chart. We're going to put the pie chart on the screen here. There have been multiple BCS events where in V Premium, Steam Maidens have taken up the majority of the top 8 slots. The vast majority. But there is no Steam Maiden hit on this list. Which means, you know, this is some Jurassic Park tier stuff right here.
God creates dinosaurs. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs eat man.
Steam Maiden inherits the earth. Meanwhile, in Premium, there's a similar issue where you might have noticed that there's sort of a big three, a triangle of decks in Premium right now. And that was Ripples, MFT, and one of 2 Narukami variants, Vanquisher and Eradicator. But you might have noticed there's not any sort of Narukami hit on this list. They didn't choice restrict Stunverse and Exterminate Dragon. They didn't just ban Stunverse. They didn't do something about, like, Bowing Sword Dragon. None of that. Which theoretically means that Narukami is the best deck in Premium right now. Now, there is a bit of a silver lining. Just a bit. You see, at every event that I had been to recently, what was happening was that Narukami was trying to eat Ripple alive because of all of their copious amounts of excels. And then Mystery Flare was eating the Narukamis because it was just benefiting from cards being bound. And then Ripple was just sort of punching everything else down because it just gained the advantage so fast. But with Ripple gone, there will be people who do not think it is quite worth it to invest in a deck that beats Ripples so handily. Now, granted, Narukami is still good outside of being a Ripple counter. Stunverse is still an insane card. I am still telling you that that card binds 4 from field, binds 4 from drop, binds cards out of your opponent's hand, slaps them, and then lets you marry into their family and steal all their money. That's how Stunverse works. It does everything. But that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Because we won't have to... It's not okay. I'm coping. I'm gonna be real with you, chat. I'm coping. But I have a little bit of faith. I have a little bit of faith that rather than Narukami becoming, quote, the only good deck, the power vacuum left by Ripple and MFD will allow decks that do have good Narukami matchups, but didn't have good Ripple and Mystery Flare matchups to just sort of fill in. Because I really believe in this. I really believe in this. But realistically, we can only sit back and wait and see what happens. Which, of course, will be the Holy Shine Sweep. The Holy Shine Sweep is what awaits us on the other side of this, obviously. Liberators will inherit the earth. Anyway, that's enough out of me. If you like what I do here, there's a couple of links through which you could support me in the comments, or in the description. I linked that Jaime video in the description, and I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys some other time.